In this video, I'll show you how to make a 60-minute clock for a radio station using the ENCO DAD software, specifically their Ensemble music scheduler. So I'm here looking at the ENCO software and going into the audio library. You can see that I've got all my different groups or tabs of different audio content here. By clicking the Ensemble button, I'll get to the area that's going to be helpful for scheduling. Quickly looking through the groups category here. Again, these are all the different groups of audio content that I've got. So all these different tabs that are listed in the library are represented here as well. What's important about this is that anything that's got content in it, let's take the local music for example here. I've got an average song length of all the 532 cuts that are in there. I want to make sure that these are really updated and update those. And the reason being is because when I get into scheduling a 60-minute hour, it's going to base that based on the average length of songs from the categories I'm telling Ensemble to pull from. So let's go into the clocks. So I don't really have anything going on here. Looks like I have the remnants of an old clock. So I'm just going to kind of blow out all these things and create a new. I'm going to add a clock. And I'm going to call this Jazz because I need to work on some things for my Jazz program. Change the name to Jazz here. And the way my station schedule works is I've got a piece of underwriting at the top of the hour, and then I've got a PSA and a promo that run at 15 and 45 past the hour, some station IDs in between. So to make things easy on me, I'm going to think in regards to all those different spot breaks that I'm going to do. So I'm going to go through and select my underwriting group. Just make sure that I have two radio stations here, so I just want to make sure that this is the right underwriting. Okay, and then I'm going to pull from the songs category from this group, right? So it's going to pull an audio cut from the underwriting group right at the top of the hour. It's exactly what I want. Now I'm going to build my commercial breaks at 15 and 45 past the hour, which are comprised of a PSA and then a promo. Well, actually, a promo first, then a PSA, and then a station ID to bring us back into the music. So I'm going to promos. Again, making sure that this is correct for this radio station. It's promos, not promo. Okay, and again, pulling a song from that category. Promo, and then PSA. And then a station ID. Okay, and then I'll repeat that process all over again. So promo, PSA, and then a station ID. All right, so that successfully builds me through the required content, but you can see like the colors that show up, they represent the groups that they come from. I need to spread this out. So I need to fill in the blanks in between underwriting and my first spot break. I need to fill in the blanks with some actual musical content. And in this case, I'm building a clock for our jazz program. So I'm setting the group to jazz. And what I want to do is drag and drop songs from that group in between the underwriting and the promos until this first promo lands somewhere around the 15 past mark. Okay, and it's important here that you know you've got to sort of like where to drag and drop from, right? So I'm pulling from the jazz, and I'm going to drop it on top of the promos. Okay, and I'll just repeat the process until I've got the right timing, and it's showing you over here exactly what time each element is going to start. So right at the top of the hour, the underwriting is going to hit. 17 seconds later, my first jazz song, and so on. So it looks like I'll be able to get 3 songs in before my first spot break at about 15 past the hour. Looks like 16. All right, and then the same thing is going to happen in between. So we're going to return promo, PSA, and then a station ID to get us back into the music. And that's going to be more jazz after in between the ID and the next spot break. So now this time I'm making it all the way until 45 past the hour. So it looks like I'll be able to get in several more songs. That puts us right there. And then, again, more songs after the ID. All right, now you can see the scale of my clock changed because it puts us past the 60-minute mark. The ending of this last song is going to put us past the 60-minute mark. Now, ENCO recommends that you, I think they put a tastefully over schedule. So I'm going to give myself one extra song at the end there. So it already is scheduled, if we're using the average song length, it's going beyond the 60 minutes and then playing another song for 5 minutes. But, based on these averages, there very well could be a circumstance where you're creating a playlist, and based on the rules that you give these things, you're going to pull up a bunch of songs from the library that are actually under the average, right? So we want to tastefully overschedule ourselves. The last thing to do is to make sure that we have some sort of branch event so that our legal ID for the next hour will happen as close to the top of the hour as possible. That's what's known as a DAD event. I always use the forward soft branch. So what this means is that once an audio cut that is playing goes beyond a designated time frame, for me it's 58 past the hour. Once we get past 58 past the hour, we're not going to play, even if things are scheduled for that hour, it's going to skip right over them and get us to the beginning of the next clock, which is always going to be, for me, underwriting that includes a legal ID. So I need to make sure that I put in that DAD event. The soft branch, 58 past the hour, just gets thrown in right at the end here. And that's pretty much the way that we would build the most basic clock for a radio station. We're specifically a non-commercial radio station. I might throw in a couple other IDs in here, but in the most basic sense, this is how you can get all that stuff done. Thanks for watching. That's how you build a clock using Ensemble in DAD.